Make sure to do this with your bros.
Let's say you have your bro and you ask him to wear a cosplay. For the sake of this model, let's say
I'm curious. Enlighten me, bro.
it's an Astolfo cosplay. And now your bro is wearing the Astolfo cosplay. Now, that's not your bro, that's Astolfo. And now if we take a look at the attraction here, I would say definitely markedly more. Without a shadow of a doubt. Now this is where the conundrum takes play. This is where the paradox occurs. Let's say that your bro removes part of the cosplay.
Never did that. Never gonna do that.
You would now see an undressed Astolfo, which, if you take a look at attraction, markedly increased. Based on the trends that we're seeing here, you would say that the less cosplay that is worn by the Astolfo, the more attractive it is. But there is a critical point. Upon removing the final articles of the cosplay, that's just your bro and he's naked. All of a sudden, it's gay.
Yo, I'm not gonna name the person's name, but I remember this clearly. And this was when I did the Astolfo cosplay years ago, because when I lost that bet. I remember this person, huge troll. They're always trolling. I remember during that cosplay, they were sending in TTS messages and saying like, dude, you actually like look really good. Oh my God, wow, like you really look so, like I can't believe it. Like I can't. And I remember I was like, yo, stop. And like they were like, the next day they went back to their old ways. It's like nothing happened. It was like they were in a trance like that whole time. Like they were like hypnotized and then right back to their old ways the next day. I've never seen anything like it.
The official $7 quest line from Bethesda that has garnered all this controversy is so broken you cannot reload the gun that you get as a reward for it. Like, it's unbelievable. Already, it kind of sucks that you have to pay $7 for a quest. But then, the gun you get as the reward for the quest, you can't reload it. So you can fire 4 shots, and then it's useless. It's unbelievable. Somebody needs to tell Todd, why do you keep releasing stuff you know is broken and selling it to your fans? That should not be okay. Like, I just want to know the explanation. How on earth do you release a $7 quest that's about 30 minutes long? You're selling this to people, and it is so bugged that the weapon that is the reward for the quest doesn't work, and you still chose to release it. Like, the free update for Fallout 4's next-gen patch that just breaks all the mods and everything, okay, it's free. So, like, at the very least, you didn't pay for your game to get broken. It just happened. But in this case, you're literally paying to get something that doesn't work.
I do quests because I have to. And I speed through them as quick as I can. Paying $7 for a fucking quest? And then the reward is broke?
Well, of course you won with those cards. Even Steve could have won with those cards. And all he can say is, hey-o. Shut the up, Steve.
All right, what you had there, right then, there was only 4, is a perfect example of playing poker with buddies. You will have the one person that's raging on how could you call all the way down to the turn in the river with that garbage hand. You will have the one guy that's either drunk or has no idea what he's doing. He's just like, I call, let's go. No idea what he's doing. You have the serious poker, the pro poker player who comes in with like 8 sunglasses, you know, he's got like reflectors everywhere, hoodie, fucking, you know, he's got like poker stars full tilt. He's got like every embroidery everywhere from like all the online poker rooms. Those are the type of people you have usually at your home game. You got the friend that like, you know, thinks he's pro. You got the one who rages. You got the one who has no idea what's going on. You got the one who's drunk. That was perfect.
Most people will just throw out a peach pit without realizing that if you hammer a nail in the stem side, tie on a string, make a wireframe and dangle it over a cup so it's just touching the surface of the water, and then put it in a bright window, you have your very own peach pit dangling so it's just touching the surface of the water in a bright window. Follow for more tips.
I fall for them each time.
Oh shit, you got a new rug?
Yeah, I got it for the house. I thought it would look nice.
Okay, I see you. Some new decorations for the house. That had to cost you some money, huh?
Yeah, it did. Bet.
Yup. not so much that. They'll put their claws down and then they'll do that, like, like this. They do like the, you know what I'm talking about? That paw motion. That's what they'll do.
Well, I got back from the doctor's office yesterday and I got diagnosed with a tiny pecker. Now, I did the most logical thing any man in my position would do. I got my hands dirty and I took the muffler off my car. Now, when I go to Home Hardware to get my tools and lumber, I'll make sure to do it really early in the morning to wake my neighbors up.
What?
10 levels of card shuffling. Level 1. Level 2.
Oh my god.
Level 3. Level 4. Level 5. Level 6. Level 7. Level 8.
Oh, it's so sick, man.
Level 9. Level 10.
God, that's so cool.
The Hololive or even the VTuber community is. Okay. Screw the Mets.
What the fuck?
Scientists once taught monkeys the concept of money, and then disaster ensued. In 2005, a group of monkeys were given silver coins. It took months to teach the monkeys that these coins were a valuable means of exchange, but once they had that understanding is when the real fun began. They were given 12 coins and presented with jello cups and grapes, each costing a different price. Then scientists introduced price shocks, raising the price of one and dropping the price of the other, and the monkeys went for the better deal if they were low on cash, meaning they understood budgeting. Then gambling was introduced and monkeys were doing that. Then they figured out stealing, then something really shocking began to happen. The scientists noticed that some male monkeys were using the coins to pay females for lovemaking. Those females would then use that money they earned to go buy—
No shot this is real, bro, is it? Bro, this just sounds like Atlantic City right now whenever I go visit, of just what's happening around the entire area.
Once scientists noticed that was happening, they did have to put an end to it because they wanted to ensure any future monkey business occurred as nature intended.
That's wild.
Yo, I just got these new steel-toed boots. I don't really know how much I'm gonna wear them, but I might just wear them so I don't stub my toe, but I also...
I thought he was gonna stub his toe, but where did the SpongeBob come from?
No, what'd you say?
Why did they pay it?
Because that means you have to pay for that.
That's not my problem.
She's looking at her American Express bill, and under charges, it says like pay it, like you can pay that on your American Express. And she said, why does it say pay it under this? And I'm like, well, so you could pay that, like you would hit pay it and you pay that. And she said, why does it say that on mine? That's not my responsibility.
But like I already bought it, so why would I have to pay for it again?
No.
No, you're not paying for it twice. You're...
Okay. Well, let me just say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because I'm not even sure the mom fully understood what's happening here. When people use a credit card, it feels like free money. She's like, well, I bought it with the card, so I already paid for it. Not how credit or debt works. You see, you borrowed the money, and now you have to pay that money back.
You know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in this chat also. Ratifier. Ratifier, you typed where domed. You can't spell.
The best Pop-Tart flavor of all time.
It's a couple, depending on the mood. What time of the day you talking about?
7 a.m. You wake up early. You didn't get the best sleep, but you're hungry.
7 a.m. Your taste buds ain't all the way there yet, so probably like a blueberry or a wild berry. But then after that, probably about 12 o'clock, you put the strawberry milkshake Pop-Tart in the freezer, leave it in there till like 1:30, and that shit hitting.
That actually sounds pretty good.
I am getting tagged in the comment section of a certain TikTok that went viral recently. You guys know that I'm a big fan of Whooper, right? I have a lot of Whooper related stuff. And there is someone on TikTok that made a Whooper rug. And I'm getting tagged so much saying, you should give this to Small Ant. Small Ant would love this. Hey everyone, make sure Small Ant sees this. You wanna know something crazy, chat? It's my rug. I commissioned it. I commissioned an artist, Sison, she's great. And then I sent that art to Jay Glass, who made the rug for me.
That's cool.
So this professional athlete has a $0 contract, but it's for a really wholesome reason. Basically, in 2012, Andrew Tolles was drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays. He was a great prospect, mainly known for his speed. But although Andrew had a solid and promising start to his career, to everyone's shock, in 2018, he suddenly began to play terribly. He barely got into the field anymore, and when he did, he would strike out almost a quarter of the time. Then, to make matters even worse, in 2019, Andrew didn't even show up to his team's mandatory preseason training camp. No one had any idea what was going on. People would only later find out that the reason for Andrew's poor performance was that he was mentally ill. You see, Andrew had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Just a year later, he was arrested and charged with trespassing after he was found sleeping behind a FedEx building. After that incident, Andrew was taken to a mental health facility for treatment. But despite the fact that his baseball career was almost definitely over for good, his current team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, never actually kicked him out. Instead, they've been renewing his contract every year since 2020 for $0. This way, Andrew still gets to keep his health insurance from the MLB, which is the Dodgers' way of supporting him and thanking him for his time with the team.
Wow, that's really nice. I wish a lot of companies were like that, because I remember when a company I worked for a long time ago, when they laid me off like 2 days before the end of the month. So they only had to pay for the health insurance that I was covered for 2 more days. And then I had to get new ones. So they purposely waited to the end of the month. So I'd be on health insurance for 2 more days. And then the new month starts and I'd have to, you know.
Now we got this influencer doing what influencers do, which is pretending to be cool. And
that's me. I'm an influencer now.
he just pulled this, I'm guessing it's a Porsche, I don't know, European cars, up on this side of the road here, blocking traffic. Now he's going to get out, strut over to the curb and look cool as possible. In case you missed it,
are you kidding?
This is the point right here where he just curbed the hell out of that, which I'm assuming is a very expensive rim. Pretty good at reading body language, and that body language doesn't scream cool. That screams worry. Almost like you just curbed the rim on a car that you rented, and that rim probably costs more than your real car, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay for it.
Yep.
Funny thing about trying to look cool is that you never succeed at it. Just be yourself.
I remember I went to this place. It was called Webster Hall. I remember I was waiting on the line to go in. I was with my friends. This guy is driving by blasting. It was 50 Cent's song at the time was Candy Shop. And it was like, and it just sounded sick. And like he was driving by and he was looking, like all the girls I remember were looking. His car looked awesome. He just looked super cool. I had my old car at the time, but I had 2 10-inch subs at the time, and I wanted to do it. So I wasn't going to the club that day. I was like, I'm going to drive by. And I'm driving, and if you know New York City, it's very narrow down the side streets a lot of the time. And I'm doing it, everybody's looking at me, and I had tints on my car. I had everything, and like you could only see like my eyes, so, like I was staring, and I'm blasting it. And as I went to, because I was skrilling, and I go to make the turn, I went over the curb, like the sidewalk curb, and it went up, and made like, oh my God, I'm fucking cringing thinking about it. Oh my God, it didn't ruin my car or anything, but the fucking sound was, cause like I went up it and then down, and then like I just heard like laughing, and then I got out of there. Never again. I tried to look cool. I looked at the bottom. It did scrape the bottom of my thing, but it wasn't bad. Never again. I then hid my car. I never even showed up there. I didn't even drive for like 2 weeks. I wanted everybody to forget about me. I was so embarrassed.
Hey, Anton, what are you doing? It's 5 p.m. Your contract says no overtime.
What Europeans think America is like. Before I even go into this, for YouTube, if you don't know Shy Lily, she's a VTuber. She's a good friend of mine. I remember we were talking with her and we're hanging out off stream, and she was thinking about coming to Vegas for TwitchCon, which she wound up coming to. And she was like, I'm just nervous to go to America. Why? She's like, I'm a little scared. I'm like, let me ask you a question. Do you think like you're gonna pull up to Vegas, like land, and people are gonna be riding cowboys, big hats, you know, shooting guns in the air? And it's like, wah! She's like, that's exactly what I think. Yeah, and everybody's probably riding a horse around and stuff with guns and everything. I'm like, that, you know what? Yes, that is it. Just make sure when you land, don't step in horse shit.
This is what Europeans think America is like. I wake up at 8 a.m. to the sound of gunshots and violence. Then after that, I have breakfast. An 18-piece fried chicken bucket with a 2-liter bottle of Coke. Yo! Then at 9 a.m., I start my daily commute from Los Angeles, California to New York City. Along the way, I drive through intense poverty and homelessness. I will do nothing about it. At 10 a.m., I arrive in New York City. I talk loudly about how great America is. At 11 o'clock, I decide to head down to Miami. At 11:45, I arrive in Miami. This is where I get my tan. After that, I head back to Los Angeles. It's awesome that I'm able to visit all 3 American cities in one day. Yep. Around 1 p.m., I go out to eat for lunch. I leave the waiter a large cash tip of $100. At 1:30 p.m., I publicly lean against the wall to rest. Around 3:30 p.m., there's another shooting. At 6 p.m., I have dinner, an entire apple pie that I wash down with a 2-liter of Coca-Cola. Then at 9 p.m. there's an alien invasion. This seems to only happen to the important countries. And that's my day.
Hey, EU gang, is that true? Is that what you guys think it's like here? Oh my God.
In 2018, scientists published a paper entitled The Elasticity of Nuclear Pasta. And what they found was that under the most extreme conditions you can find in the universe, neutrons didn't look like neutrons anymore. They took on exotic shapes like sheets and cylinders that looked a little tasty.
I'm sorry, every time I'm just looking at him, he just looks like Kevin Nash to me. And I can't stop looking.
The reason New York is the biggest city in America is waterproof concrete. The biggest cities in America were originally Boston and Philadelphia, who both had busier ports than New York. But in 1810, the mayor of New York City had a crazy idea to dig a river by hand across the entire width of the state so they could reach all the goods in the Midwest that couldn't go over the mountains to the other port cities. Big dream, but in order to build it, you need a way to make massive amounts of waterproof concrete, which didn't exist yet. There was one way to make a small batch with volcanic ash, but not enough for 400 miles of canal path. If New York had just given up, it's very possible Philadelphia would be the biggest city in America, especially after the railroads were built. But one engineer spent a year figuring out how to make it from local limestone. And with this recipe, New York was able to build the Erie Canal, and after it opened, New York's share of national exports jumped from 10% to 60% in just a few years, while its population quadrupled.
That's kind of cool. Didn't know that.
Yo, babe.
What?
Hurry up, quick.
What?
Quick.
What? I see your little contraption. Think you're all slick? You're so tight. Oh!
That's genius. 16-star drum percent, world record 1948. No fucking way.
This might be it, even with the missed throw. This might be sub 20. Come on. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. This might be it. Oh my god.
My turn? I can't play
Next.
drums.
Ayo, next endurance, Nagzz.
No,
Pause.
I would love to see Office Drummer try that. That's insane, bro.